Hello and welcome. We're going to go ahead and start our digital self-portrait. So we are looking at creating our file today, adding our photo, and adding a filter. So the first step is going to be to open up our programming. We're going to create our working file. After we have our working file, we're going to open up the image that we took of ourselves. Then we're going to combine those two, the image and the working file together. We're going to rename our layers, resize our image, and then we're going to save it for the day. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. So first, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to open up the program file. So we're going to type in photopea.com. Once we get here, we're going to click on New Project. Up here in the top left where it says New Project, we're going to give it a name. So we're going to name it like we usually do. So with our last name, comma, space, first name, space, hyphen, space, and then the name of the project. So this is a digital self-portrait. After we have that established as the name, we are going to, for this project, work in pixels. So we want to make sure that our unit of measure is always selected first. And the width of our project is going to be 612 pixels. The height of our project is going to be 792 pixels. And we are going to change the DPI from 72 to 300, and that unit should be pixels per inch by default. After you have all of this here selected, you can select a transparent background or a white background. I'm going to make this one transparent, and I'm going to hit create. Okay, so here is my document, nice and clean. After we have our new document created, we are now going to open up our image that we're going to use. So we're going to go File, and we're going to Open. You need to locate on your computer where you have your files stored. So I am looking in the Picture section of my computer, and I have this one here that is an up-close picture with a nice solid background, very much like Chuck Close. I thought about using this one as well, which is a smaller version of this picture here, just with just me, but this is a little bit more Chuck Close's style. Okay, and so I have that document. So I have these two tabs. I can toggle between my working document and my image document, but our job right now is to combine them. So I'm going to come over here to the layers palette where I have this background layer, which is my actual image, and I'm going to grab that layer and I'm going to drag it. And when I get it up to that other tab, the working file, it's going to highlight that in blue and I'm going to drop it. So now I'm over here in my working file. I see that I have this new image. It's much larger than I need it to be. And I saw my background image. I no longer need this tab anymore of the actual document. So I'm going to close it. So I just have my working document. The first thing I'm going to do here is I am going to organize my layers just a bit. So where it says background, right on that text, I'm going to double click and I'm going to change this to image. And enter will set that name. So I have the name of that layer. So I've got a background and I've got an image layer at this point. I'm now going to resize and move this picture. So I can grab it and move it, but I really need to adjust the size of it. It's too large. So I'm going to come up here to my option bar. I have my move tool selected. As I change tools, the option bar changes. So I need to be on the move tool. Auto select is selected, but I also want to select this transform control. So I'm going to click on that. What that does is it gives me handles around the image. So I'm just going to grab this top handle. I'm going to resize it down, click on the image and drag it back up. Click on this corner handle and drag it down. The nice thing about this program is it keeps it in proportion for us. So we're not going to stretch or distort this image by doing it this way. And I'm just going to keep doing this until my image fits. I made it a little small, so I'm going to drag it back out. If it's a little bigger than your canvas, that's okay. We just don't want any white space. I can move mine up. I have a little bit of room here at the bottom to move it up and get rid of some of that extra headspace there in that photo. Okay, I think I'm good there. Once you're happy with the positioning of this on your screen, you're going to click the X in the top option bar to set that transformation. Okay. Now I'm using my mouse. Okay, the other thing I'm going to do before I do anything else is I have those transform controls still on. So I'm going to unselect or uncheck the transform control box up at the top. Okay, so now that image, I can still move it, but I can't really resize it anymore. All right, so I'm happy with that. Now I'm using my mouse with a roller so I can roll up and down and see things. You may need to use your magnifying glass and the Alt key to zoom out if you need to, or no Alt key and zoom in if you like. The other thing is when you have that going on, you can use your hand tool by pressing the space bar key to move your shape around. I can still use that space bar key in any of my tools. So I went back to the move tool, still holding the space bar, and I can move that. So I have my image right there. It's filling the space. It's called image, and we are good for that. So let's just check our list. Wonderful. We've named it. We've resized it. Now we're ready to save. So we're going to go File, Save as PSD, File, Save as PSD. I'm going to find my documents. In there, I have a digital art class folder. I don't have a project folder, so I'm going to, in the white space underneath here, right-click, go to New Folder, and I'm going to put in a project folder right now. So this is the digital self-portrait. Enter to set that set that name, and then I'm going to open this by double-clicking. I have my nice file name. I see that is it a PSD document, and I'm going to click Save. Give it a moment for that to save. And that is our goal for today. If you have any concerns or questions, please reach out and let me know. I will be happy to help. Make sure that you do continue with the process of submitting your daily progress as well. So for us, we are going to submit that screenshot into our sketchbook. All right. If you do have any questions, again, please let me know.